Hello everybody, welcome back once again. I am Tim. This is Golf Cart Garage. I work for Golf Cart Garage. We come here twice a week, talk about golf carts. We are live right now. If you're watching this on January the 18th at 12 noon Central Time, we're live right now on YouTube and Facebook. Let me run the other social media links real quick before we get started. Lost them. There they are. You can follow us on other platforms also besides YouTube and Facebook, but please follow us on YouTube and Facebook. I am still snowed in here in Central Arkansas. We had a little bit of melting, but then last night, after the snow started melting yesterday, last night temperatures dipped down to below freezing again, and then this morning everything was ice. I've been listening to the police on the scanner, and they're just getting run all over the place. People are all in the ditches, all the wreckers are tied up. It's just a mess out there, which I'm sure it is everywhere else too, with a lot of you guys. Roger F, what's up, Roger F? Larry Consley, 28 degrees. Mike Kemp, 45. Gene, still cold, 23. Heat wave in Bristol, 30 degrees. Stephen Kuhn, helpless in Arkansas. Enjoying this beautiful wintry day here in Central Arkansas. Yeah, I bet it's crazy up there too. Everything's refreezing now. It's ice. Ice is worse. I mean, snow, see, I'm not used to all this. This is all kind of new to me. All this learning about snow and ice and lots of snow and total coverage. I'm not really used to that. So haven't seen it very much. The snow actually gives you the opportunity to survive. Like if you're driving and you get caught in it, snow will give you the opportunity to be careful, slow down, and you might get out alive. You might get to your destination. Ice don't care about you, don't care about your car, don't care about your family. It doesn't care about nothing. It'll take you out quick. So you got to be careful about ice, and that's what's happening right now here as the snow's melting with these cold temperatures. Hi Tim, Ricky Smith, what's up Ricky? What's up Big Mike? Sonny, waiting for a bunch of snow tonight. Yep, well, yeah, I figured y'all got it bad up there. 40 and sunny on the eastern shore of Virginia, rich East Maine. Bruce from Westfield, Wisconsin, 10 degrees. Frozen pipes, Jeffrey, 5 a.m. and 10 degrees now. Yeah, there's a main water line break. I'm out, I got no water right now. They're supposed to fix it in the next few hours, but it's not at my house, but it's a main water line down the road somewhere. It's broke, so everybody's out of water where I'm at right now. Jeffrey, got to leave in 20 minutes. All right, cool, Jeffrey. Thank you for stopping in, though. 31 Eastern Kentucky, Gary England, Rock Dog. Sorry for missing the past two. Under the weather, 46 and sunny in Athens. That's all right, Rock Dog. Glad you're here, man. Benny Russell, 38, Athens, Alabama. Rusty Brinkley, afternoon, sunny, and 40 in West Virginia. Rock Dog says, Tim, did you go do your donuts? I did. I took my little two-stroke out there and explored the neighborhood a little bit. And of course I had to do a few donuts. My wife went with me too. She almost got mad at me. I almost threw her out of the cart, but she didn't. Big Mike, we have the possibility of up to 2.5 feet of lake effect snow. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's going to be a mess. We're going to be in the 60s, Helpless says here, next week. Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, we're going to be in the 60s after all this. That's crazy. D-Max, what's going on, man? California, 56. How's everyone doing? We're doing good, man. Let me check Facebook. Kevin on Facebook, what's going on? Kevin, how Tim, 25 degrees, 3 inches of snow, calling for 5 to 8 through Saturday midday. Big Mike and Kevin, is it you, Big Mike, that's volunteer fire department? Because they're getting run ragged too right now, I bet. So I bet you guys are busy with all that snow. I think I'm remembering that right. Aren't you volunteer fire department? Keith, hey Tim, Keith from Palmetto, 70 degrees and cloudy. What today? Gary England, pneumonia weather coming. Oh, you and Kevin both are. Okay, so y'all getting run because like I said, I was listening to the police earlier, and everybody's tied up right now. All the fire departments, the because all the cars in the ditches, and all the policemen and all the wrecker service, they're out there trying to pull everybody out of the ditch. Everybody went in the ditch this morning because they didn't know that that nice shiny asphalt road that all of a sudden started showing doesn't have snow on it anymore. That nice shiny asphalt road, that wasn't wet. That was solid black ice, or clear ice. Big Mike's had a rollover crash this morning. Kevin Rabbit says they do make tire chains for golf cart size tires. Yeah, but that would take all the fun out of it. William Moore. Good afternoon, William, on Facebook. Kevin says, yeah, he and Big Mike are both volunteer fire department. Started at 4:30 this morning. Okay. We better get started on the regular questions here. Question number 1 from Terry T. Oh, I do have some Let's See stuff today, too. It's some of you may have seen it because it was on our website, but I'll talk about that when I get to it. Terry T says, I have a 2006 Club Car Villager 6. I recently changed out the controller, and after install was complete, the cart will only go in reverse regardless of which direction the forward and reverse switch is in. I've traced all the wires to make sure they are correct and can find no problem there. Can you help me? Well, if everything was fine before, and you got something must be, it's very likely that something is not correct. So the only thing that I would check and make sure of first is the F1 and F2. Make sure you didn't put your F1 and F2 backwards on your controller. That's the black and white small wires that plug into the controller. Make sure those aren't backwards. You might want to check that out. That's why I always tell people to take a picture before they disconnect anything. Take a good picture of everything in your golf cart battery compartment before you do any work whatsoever. And especially if the car's running, at the time. That way if it's not running when you get through doing what you're doing, then you did something wrong. You got something hooked up wrong. Joseph Simmons, hey Tim, it's 63 in Charleston, South Carolina. Well, that sounds good. Jeffries, I've seen a foot an hour in upstate New York and for 3 to 5 hours straight. Dang. Julie Miller, what's going on, Julie Miller? Hi from Badin Lake, North Carolina. Is that Baden? How do you pronounce that? Baden Lake, North Carolina? Thank you for joining us, Julie. Number 2 on the regular questions. This is from Michael. I have an 87, I have an 87 Easy Go Marathon. The cart will cut out at times. There's a clicking sound that sounds like it comes from the motor when you use the throttle at times. When it quits, just repeatedly press on the throttle and eventually takes off fast. Well, on an 87, if we're talking about electric, I'm assuming that's what we are talking about there. On an 87, there's a big accelerator pedal micro switch. It's not even micro. It should be called a macro switch on the 87 because it's a big one. Micro switches have gotten smaller and smaller over time, and they've gotten smaller since 87. Well, there's a big one that the accelerator linkage is connected to that causes it's in the circuit that causes your solenoid to click. All right, the solenoid has to click or the car's not going to run. So if you'll push your accel pedal and watch under your seat, you'll see things moving. Well, right there, when you see those parts that move as you push in the accelerator pedal, you'll find that micro switch. It's probably just an intermittent micro switch that's causing the solenoid to click sometimes and then sometimes not. Bart Gillum on YouTube is a slipping motor a bad motor in an electric car? No, no. Well, it's direct. It's called direct drive. So there's no slipping. Okay, so if something is slipping, then you got a problem. You got gears taken off. Most likely, the weakest point in that direct drive system is going to be the motor coupler that goes onto the input shaft. The input shaft is splined, and on the end of the motor there is a coupler that's splined that goes over the input shaft. So if your motor is slipping, it's probably slipping on that input shaft because the motor coupler the gears have eaten out, and the motor coupler is replaceable. You can replace the motor coupler. So it's not a bad motor. It's just if you've got some kind of slipping going on, then you got an issue. Big Mike, my underglow is hooked to 12-volt fuse block off reducer, and for some reason this last week it continues to turn itself on. That's what I was going to say, Mike. We got some very unusual temperatures going on out there, and that would be what I would think. I'd wait till warmer weather and see if something changes. I think it's very likely that it could be cold weather related. Cold weather could be. What do you got on your voltage reducer? You got it hooked to a separate switch? I've seen motorcycle lift in the background get a pneumatic 1-bolt, a 4x8, makes an excellent golf cart lift. Yeah, you had said something about that, Jeffrey. That would next time I have to do any golf cart work, I do plan to use it as a lift. So just a 4x8 sheet of plywood. All right, I'll think about that next time I do that. William Rizzo from the Florida Keys. What's up, William Rizzo? Facebook is still rolling. All right, cool. So we're good. I was worried about my internet too. Like I said, I don't have water right now, so I was hoping that the internet was going to stay up. I guess the internet's fine. Everything seems to be good. Number 3. From Bob. When I put the igniter in the off position and plug in the charger, my battery indicator blinks red internally, and the status indicator, those little bars, moves from full to 1 bar in sync with the blinking light. Is this normal? Are the batteries charging? Well, I don't know which cart you're talking about there, Bob. I don't have quite enough information to be able to answer that, but the easiest way to check and see if your batteries are charging is to take a voltage reading off of your battery pack with a handheld voltmeter. You can even do it off of one battery, or you can do it across the whole pack. Just take a voltage reading of your cart just sitting there first, and as a reference point. Leave your voltmeter leads on the batteries there, and watch your voltmeter. Plug your charger in and watch your voltmeter. And when your charger goes through all that stuff and starts blinking and does all that stuff, watch your voltmeter. And if it does not change, if nothing changes on your voltmeter, then your charger's not working. It's not charging the batteries. And it could be for different reasons, but it's not. The voltage on your voltmeter should rise when you plug that charger in. If it doesn't start slowly rising, then that charger's not running. William Rizzo, 80 in the Keys. If it gets any warmer, I'm heading south. Jeffrey, you can find a used one for $200 to $400 around the corners. Jeff. Well, I almost missed checking in. Kurt, too cold to go out. It comes straight off the block to the LED controller. Then I turn on and off with a little remote on my key ring. It comes straight off the block to the LED controller. Then I turn them on and off with my little remote on my key ring. See, there's lots of things that could go wrong there. You got wireless stuff going on. I would bet that it's like you said. I would bet it's temperature related deal. Okay. Number 4. This is from Arthur H. I have an electric golf cart, 2015 E-Z-GO RX-V. The last 2 months after a long drive to the golf course and playing 18 holes and the drive back home, I looked at the voltage meter and it showed I have about 50% left of battery power. But at that point, I try to step on the pedal, there's no power. I installed a Navitas controller a few years ago, but no heavy duty solenoid. After golf, I use a battery minder 48 volt slow charger. Why am I losing power with 50% left showing on the amp meter? Appreciate whatever input you can give. Thank you, Art. Now see, this is a prime example of why I don't like those dash gauges. It's because people pay attention to them. Once you put one of those on your cart, on an electric cart, people start paying attention to that, and they start relying on that to be accurate, and they start relying on it. See, this guy is still showing 50%, but his cart's dead. Well, you would think that, you know, if it shows 50%, that you still got a long way to go before, you know, you got plenty of time to make it home. What the deal is it's showing 50% right there at that moment. And as soon as you put a load on it, the first battery that's the weakest battery in the pack could drop out. So in other words, 50% could be your dead point in this case. So it's best just to make sure your cart's charged, and you know, when you get through with it for the day, just charge your cart. That's why I don't like those gauges. So it's very likely you got one battery dropping out when it gets down to 50%. Yeah, get a digital voltmeter that actually shows the numbers. You know, then you'd be able to see if you had one dropping out, because you'd see the numbers tapering off when you hit the gas pedal, when you hit the accelerator pedal. All right. What did I do number 3? What was number 3? Yeah. Okay, I did that one. And then that was number 4 from Arthur H. Right. Number 5. All right. Number 5 is from Ed. I recently changed out batteries, and now lights and directionals don't work on my E-Z-GO TXT 2005. I checked the fuse panel. What else should I look for? Well, my question would be, you realize your lights and your directionals all are running off of 12 volts. So where were they getting 12 volts from before? Are you running a voltage reducer, or were they hooked across? In a 2005 TXT, you could, that's a 6 volt batteries, so your lights and directionals could have been hooked across 2 of your batteries. So how were they getting their power before? Would be my question. You very likely could have forgotten to hook them back up, is what I'm saying, if you don't have a voltage reducer. Number 6. This is from Michael. Oh, that's funny. That's the second question from Michael. One day I had you know, I take scheduled calls for Golf Cart Garage. One day I had 4 calls in a row, 4 scheduled calls in a row. All 4 calls, the person's name was Michael. The guy's first name was Michael. 4 different men in a row. That must be a very common name, or at least they have golf carts. I just replaced shift cable on my 2010 Club Car Precedent, and am having trouble getting it adjusted properly. It will not stay in reverse. Is there a trick that I'm not aware of? Now, there's no trick. This is what I would do. The shift cable, you know, there is just it's a cable that runs to the top of the transaxle on a golf cart that has reverse, and then on top of the transaxle there's a lever, you know, that goes that when you shift it, it puts it in forward, then you shift it, and it moves that lever into reverse. What I would do would be take the cable off of that point, put it in reverse, and then adjust the cable to that point. You know, adjust the cable to the point of reverse. That way you know it's going to go far enough to put the car in reverse. That's the only, you know, it's not really a trick, it's just, you know, common sense, but that's how I would do it. Big Mike says, what can we say? It's a good name. Oh, you know, talking about Michael. Yep, I had 4 people in a row named Michael one day on scheduled calls. If you shim your front wheel chalk, you can leave the plywood on and still work on your bike. Oh, okay. You're talking about for the wheel holder. Yeah, for the front wheel holder. I got you. Yeah, I may do that. I'll think about that. I don't have any golf cart work coming up that I'm gonna need it to be up though, because I don't. The only thing I have coming up is I got a battery job to do on the camo cart. I've got a battery job, and I definitely don't need it up for that. So I don't know. I'll think about that if I end up doing a full build. I've been thinking about doing a full build lately. So if I do that, then I'll put it up on the table. George Bremer. YouTube says I have to create a channel to comment. What am I doing wrong? I don't know, George. That's definitely not the case. Maybe reboot your computer and try again or something, because you don't have to. You can comment. Big Mike, I have not decided if I'm going lithium or not. I can't make up my mind. You know, as you know, it's a big cost decision. You know, if you're going to do that. And it's not because I don't think it's a good idea. It's because I'm not sure that I'm keeping that exact cart or not. That'd be the only reason. If I knew I was going to keep that cart for a long time, I've had that cart for a really long time. It's almost time to put it back, to put some batteries in it and pass it on to another person. I've really worked that cart to death. It's a good cart, got a pretty nice stereo in it, and it's got a gun rack, you know, and everything. It's set up for somebody that needs to work around the property. But I might be selling it, and my situation now, I might go with a gas cart in my situation I'm in now. And my situation I had that I used that far in the other house, it was a whole lot different than what I'm doing now. A small gas cart with not even lifted would be perfect for what I need now. So I'm not sure. That's why I hadn't made up my mind. Oh, Kevin did the YouTube thing? Okay. Kevin, did you hear that? George is asking, he says that YouTube is asking him to create an account in order to comment. James Skaggs. What's up, James? Thank you for stopping in. How do you keep your electric cart charged up in the winter? Well, it just depends. We've talked about that before. Winter plans, the way that you do the right thing in the winter for your cart is that you have to have a plan. All right, you need some kind of plan. You can't just let it sit there with nothing going on. Your batteries will discharge over the winter, and if they get discharged to a certain point, that could cause damage. So you either have to have a charger that does everything for you. In other words, it doesn't just shut off, because a lot of chargers, you know, when they shut off, they're done. So, or you either have to have some, so it depends on what cart too. So tell me what your cart is, James, and I'll tell you if your charger will help you at all on that particular cart. Because some chargers will come back on after a certain amount of time and recharge your cart. Some chargers have a storage mode function, and that would be, you wouldn't have to do anything. Other chargers just shut completely down when they shut off, and they never come back on unless you intervene. You would have to go over and unplug them and plug it back in. Then they'd come back on. See, a lot of people do that. They just make it a point to go back to their golf cart and then charge it every few weeks or so. They'll go back and just charge it up again. Doesn't hurt anything to do that. I have to get ready to leave, Jeff. Go with gas. Yeah. Well, see, my situation here calls for gas would be, my neighborhood is so hilly, I was telling you all that. I mean, we can't even leave now. But I might even, you know, I know this is going to be terrible for me to say, but I may even get a side-by-side instead of a golf cart for my situation here. That would be bad, I guess, wouldn't it? Jeffrey, Tuesday. Oh yeah, Tuesday, Jeff. Because definitely come back Tuesday. Oh, you've already won one, haven't you? You got a hat, didn't you? Oh, never mind about that. Anyway, we're giving a hat away next episode. Next episode is Tuesday, on Tuesday. Today's Thursday. Tuesday, I've already been informed by my executive producer that Tuesday she is available to help with the random numbers and picking the winner. So yeah, we will be giving away a bag of swag on next episode. So everybody remember that and come back Tuesday. My wife got me a 48-volt golf cart battery maintainer for Christmas. It seems to be working great, but I still check and top the water every 2 weeks. That's a good idea. I forgot to mute my phone. James says it's a EasyGo 1990. Okay, well, there's no doubt about it, James. On a 1990 EasyGo, especially if you're still using the original charger, the original charger that came with that, when it shuts off, it doesn't do anything else. It just shuts off. It's done. And you would have to literally go unplug it and plug it back in. So you could do that every few weeks and everything would be fine. Or you could switch your charger out to something like a Summit 2 that we sell at golfcartgarage.com that has storage mode. And it will take care of all that stuff for you. That's what it's designed for. It's designed for cars that are sitting for long periods of time. But you'll be fine if you want to just put a reminder on your phone or something every few weeks to remind you to go out there and charge your cart again. That would be fine. Or you're just going to have to switch your charger out. That's the only two choices you have. Some people have, you know, they ask me that question because they're away from their cart. Like they have two homes. Like they got a home up north and a home in the south. And so they're going to be away from their cart. So they even have to get a neighbor or somebody to go over there if they don't switch out the charger to something, you know, more modern that will keep your batteries up. I mean, we talk about lithium being expensive. Well, you know, lead acid ain't cheap either. It's expensive too, so you don't want to ruin them. Clay, is it a good idea to use trickle charger on an Eco battery for the winter? I would have to check with Eco on that because they're very particular about what charger. All lithium companies are. They're very particular about what charger and how you charge your golf cart. So that's going to be a company specific answer. And I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I don't know what Eco recommends for winter on their Eco batteries. Just some lithium companies, they don't even recommend you charging their lithium if the temperature gets below freezing. So you got to know the answers to those questions too. Lori W. Can you still plug in and charge batteries with these cold temps? Sure you can, Lori. Yeah, lead acid. It's just like I was just saying, some lithium companies don't recommend charging their battery under freezing if it's below freezing, but lead acid doesn't care. You can charge lead acid anytime you want. Storage go through that much water. Well, it's not the constant charging, Mike, that does the water. It's the age of the batteries, actually. So older batteries use more water than newer batteries. I mean, a new set of batteries hardly uses any water. I don't know if anybody out there has a new set of batteries, you know, a brand new set of lead acids. But I can tell you, a new set of Trojan lead acid batteries, it makes people become complacent because they go for months or a couple of months checking their water levels and they never need to add any. And they say, oh man, I never have to add any batteries to this. Well, that's not true. Over time, they are going to start using water. It's just when they're brand new, they don't use very much at all. Lori W says, thank you. Can you? Yeah, you can charge, Lori, if you're not. If you're running lithium, you're going to need to ask whatever lithium company. But if you're running lead acid, yeah, it doesn't hurt anything. In fact, it'd be a good idea to keep them fully charged because that way they will not freeze. A fully charged lead acid battery will not freeze on this planet. That was number 6, the last one. That was about the cable. Number 7 is where we're at. Rusty Brinkley says, dead batteries make for easy service calls in the spring. That is true. Yep. That would be an easy service call. And I've had several phone calls, you know, for helping people with their car. And several easy phone calls for the same reason. Talking about charging electric, did y'all see in Chicago all those Tesla owners were stuck because the chargers were not working? I did see something about that. Yep, I did hear something about that. Number 7 is from Eric. Hi Tim, great videos on YouTube. Well, thank you, Eric. I'm in northern Indiana. I get a lot of people from Indiana. A lot of Michaels and a lot of people from Indiana. So we quit driving our cart sometime in November. Then once a month I charge it for a day. The last time we drove the cart was the end of November of Valor 2021, and I went to plug it in today and got red, green flash, then nothing. Turn the key, nothing on the dash, battery level indicator. Charged each battery for a few minutes and all had charge. Plugged the cart in and red flashing light. Unplugged and turned the key and it was flashing between the bottom 2 battery levels. Could use a little advice. I am running the Trojan batteries it came with, 8 volts, quantity of 6 for a 48 volt cart. That's from Eric. Well, Eric, you're probably going to need to charge up your batteries individually. That's if your charger's not coming on or if it's erroring out on you. If you're sure your charger's okay, you know, your batteries very likely have just gotten too low. Now, there is a such thing as an 8 volt battery charger. There is. You can look it up on Amazon. And you could get an 8 volt battery charger and you could charge each one of your 8 volt batteries up individually, and you don't have to disconnect any wires in order to do that. You just put the 2 leads on the positive, you know, the positive, 1 lead on positive, 1 lead on negative on each battery and go through the whole pack, charge each one of them up and see if your regular battery charger starts working after you do that. You can do that, or if you have a 12 volt battery charger, this is not technically not the correct way to do it, not even a recommended way to do it, but you can do it. Because I mean, I've done it myself. You just can't forget about it because it's dangerous if you forget. You can charge each one individually, like I just said, with a 12 volt charger, which is a much more common charger, if you don't walk away and forget about it. You can put it on one of your 8 volt batteries and then set a timer for about an hour or 30 minutes, something like that. Try 30 minutes and see if what that got you. Do each one of them like that, but don't walk away and forget about it or you'll ruin the battery. Mike Irwin, hey y'all, 32, partly sunny in southwestern Indiana. What's up, Mike? William Rizzo says, also check all your battery connections. Yeah, check all your battery connections too there. Who was that, Eric? Was it Eric that question came from? Yes, it was Eric. Yeah, check every one of your connections too. Let me check over here on Facebook. James Skaggs says, okay, good deal. Number 8. This is from Marie. If I have 6 6-volt batteries and charge them with an 8 volt setting, will that ruin it? Well, I guess I just answered that. It will if you leave it on there too long, yes. But you have 6 6-volt batteries. Well, 6 volt chargers are more common than 8 volt. So, and 12 volt chargers are even more common than that. So you have 6 6-volt batteries. You can actually charge, usually those 12 volt, there's 12 volt chargers out there that have a 6 volt setting on there. You can charge yours up individually with a 6 volt charger with, you know, on the 6 volt setting. Or you can charge across 2 of your batteries at a time, because that is one, the charger sees that as one battery if you go across 2 of them. And if you're not sure about, when you go across two of them, here's a little hint for people that kind of scares them sometimes when I say that. They say you can charge two at a time, and they say, well, where do I put my leads? Well, take your voltmeter. I always talk about voltmeters. Take your handheld voltmeter and put your voltmeter on the two spots that you think is correct. And if you get a 12 volt reading, then you are correct. That's the two spots. Number 9. This is from Chuck. Hello, I have a 2008 36 volt EasyGo I bought. 2008 36 volt, okay. Rebuilt with an upgraded controller. When driving slowly on the property, the cart will get to a certain point and stall. Been having issues with forward and reverse getting hot and temporary cart stalls. I changed out the forward and reverse to a heavy duty switch. Upgraded the wiring from 6 to 4 and put an upgraded solenoid in. It's still doing the same thing. When I hot rod the cart, it seems good. Only happens when I drive slowly. Please help. It's from Chuck. Well, you just discovered, Chuck, you discovered an important fact that a lot of people don't realize. Your situation, you discovered a golf cart fact that surprises a lot of people. That the quickest way to heat up an electrical system in a golf cart and cause it to fail is to drive slowly. The golf carts, well, you got to think about it. Golf carts are designed for what? They're designed for two big fat men to get on, hop on with a bunch of golf clubs and beer and stomp the gas pedal to the floor and take them from one hole to the next, wide open, as fast as it'll go. That's what they're designed to do. That's where they run their best. If you're going to do anything but that, and which the opposite of that would be to drive around slow, then you may have to compensate for some of your electrical system. And the controller will go into thermal shutdown, especially on, what did you tell me you had there? Especially on an EasyGo. Stock 36 volt controller on an EasyGo, yeah, you can put that thing in thermal shutdown just riding around in the trail, in a manicured trail system slowly. You can put it into thermal shutdown easy. So the main thing, you've already changed out a lot of parts in your electrical system, you said, but you didn't mention your controller. So I guarantee you that controller is going into thermal shutdown. You just need to put an aftermarket controller, a nice big All-Trax or a nice big Navitas in there, and you'll be fine. And they handle the slow driving way better than that stock one that's in there. That was number 9, so we're on number 10. This is from Jeff L. 2001 EasyGo gas cart. I bought it used, and it seems that the clutch may have been replaced. It goes really fast, but struggles up hills, almost as if it's in second gear. Would replacing the clutch to stock help with this? It's very likely that it would help with that, because if somebody changed the clutch, they may have changed the clutch out, or they may have changed the spring. And see, then that all has to do with clutch tuning that I talked about. You got your drive clutch, well, here would be the drive clutch, and then you got your driven clutch. And they both have springs in them, and they're constantly doing this. One of them's constantly closing, and the other one's constantly spreading out. So, and there's all kinds of gear ratios, infinite number of gear ratios in between. That's the easiest way I can explain it, really. But if they changed a spring in one of the clutches, they may have changed it for more speed, or they may be stuck. What you need to do is figure out a way you can drive the cart and make it fail. Like when you start to climb the hill, like, make it into struggle mode, and you need to be able to see the clutches. I don't know how you're going to be able to do this, but maybe drive it without the seat on, with a half a sheet of plywood or something that you can sit on and still see the clutches, maybe some kind of way. That would be the best way to do it. See what's going on with the clutches when you're driving it. You may be able to spot what's happening. The second gear comment you made kind of gives it away that you might have a clutch that's either not opening all the way or not closing all the way. Not necessarily your front one, it could be the rear one too. William Rizzo says on DC motors, AC motors are not as bad at slower speeds. Okay, well, that's a good point. Yeah, that's one of their main. That's one of their main things on their pro list. You know, everything's got a pro and a con list. Well, the main thing on the pro list for the AC system is that it's more efficient, and it's more efficient because it's probably less heat. Because heat is your enemy. You know, in any electrical system, heat's your enemy. So if that runs cooler because of AC, yeah, that would definitely be a pro. Fish, what's up, Fish? Like that hat, Tim. Oh yeah, I've had this one a while. Uh, okay. The title of this episode was Battery Meter Says 50% and Cart Dead. And I talked about that because, yeah, that's why I don't like those gauges. You know, I like the digital gauge. If you want to put a gauge on your dash for your golf cart, then I like the ones that actually show the numbers. You know, it's just personal preference. I like to see the numbers. If you would, speaking of hats, if you'd like to purchase a hat at Golf Cart Garage, you can. There's some links, hot links, in the description. Takes you right to them. Bam. Take you to every which one you want. We don't have a camo one in inventory at this point, but we might, after we get low on inventory from these, we might put a camo one in there. It seems to be kind of popular. Next episode, which will be Tuesday, we will be giving away a hat. There will be a hat giveaway on Tuesday, next episode. So everybody please come back on Tuesday if you want to be a part of that. Take your chance to win. All you're going to have to do is make a comment and you'll be automatically entered into the contest. We will give a hat away on next episode. All right. Let's see some carts. Today's cart is another one that Dave, our own Dave at Golf Cart Garage did. I don't think that's true, Helpless. Just because it comes on, that light, we're talking about a club car? You're talking about a club car with the amber light on the dash? And also what year? Tell me what year club car. (2015), so there's no onboard computer. All right, yeah, well, that's why I wanted to know. So you don't have an onboard computer, because that light is, ones with an onboard computer, it might still be the same. That light's more than just a low voltage light. I'm not sure if it's the same though as ones with an onboard computer or not. It will come on for low voltage, but it will also come on if, like, you had your car on charge and a big winter storm came through, and hypothetically, and you lost electricity for a short period of time, and electricity came back on and you didn't even know it, like you were in the house or somewhere, and you came back and you walked back out to your garage the next day, that light will be on, not for low voltage. It would be on, showing you that there was a interruption in the charge cycle. It'll come on for that. Now, but like I said, I'm not sure about with or without onboard computer, because that light is hooked to the onboard computer in onboard computer club cars. I would bet that it does the same thing though. I would bet that it would come on for electricity interruption. But no, it does not, as far as I know, it doesn't make it go into limp mode. Limp mode would be usually the speed sensor on the end of the motor. Tim, did you get my email with my pics from some of our meetups? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I did, Mike. It seems like I remember it. You sent it to 00 Tim Freeman? If you sent it, it's in my inbox. I'll check after we get off here, Mike, make sure, and I'll feature them next time. Let's see some cars. Here we go. Bam. It's from our own Dave at Golf Cart Garage. This was part of the Extreme Golf Cart Makeover Season 2. Now go to golfcartgarage.com and you can see there's a couple of videos that he did in the process of making this one, in the process of putting it together. You can see before and after pictures and everything that he did on this particular cart. That is, or it was, I mean, I don't know if you can, well, I guess it still is an E-Z-GO 2006 E-Z-GO TXT. It still is underneath all that. There's still a 2006 E-Z-GO in there somewhere, because that is a Mad Jack Storm body kit on a 2006 TXT. I like it. I like the look. I think it's cool. You can see more of it. Go to golfcartgarage.com and look at the videos that we have. And like I said, this was part of Extreme Golf Cart Makeover Season 2. Rock Dog says, looks good, not for me, too high. I'm kind of with you, Rock. I don't like big, tall, lifted cars, because the mechanic in me starts thinking about how much more torque I would have with smaller tires. I can't help but think like that. I see those tall tires and I think, man, that's some torque robbers right there. It looks good though. Yeah, it does look good. Need a step ladder to get in. I don't have that in my notes, William, on this tire height, but I don't think they're 28s. Probably 23s. Yeah, the body kit's cool. Yeah, the Storm body kit. All right. Let me check Facebook. Oh, we're good over there. We're good there. Big Mike says, looks like 23s on 14s. So that's be what I would guess too. 23s on 14s. We're going to go with that, because I don't think we recommend anything at Golf Cart Garage higher than 23s or taller than 23s. That's about as far as I would go too. But yeah, I like 20s also, Rob. I like a 2 or 3-inch lift on 20s. That's probably my favorite situation. But I'm thinking about for work, you know, for working in the yard or for property maintenance, you know, I'm thinking of it like that. I'm not thinking about for riding around in my neighborhood, you know, because I'd go with something different, you know, just to do that. All right, I've shown the hat. If you'd like to contact us at Golf Cart Garage for any reason, to give us some suggestions or product suggestions or anything like that, here's the contact information. Here's the phone number. Here's the email address, support@golfcartgarage.com. Or if you'd like to send some pictures for Let's See segment, anytime I show like Dave's card or one of mine, it's because then you know that nobody sent me any pictures, because we had to go into the archive and, you know, to find some stuff. I've got a lot of pictures that I've done of lots of customers' carts. You can send them to me, or you can send a picture to support@golfcartgarage.com, or you can send them directly to me, 00timfreeman@gmail.com. William says, higher center of gravity, more prone to tipping over. Yeah, that's why I said if I was just going to ride around the neighborhood, then I may have a lifted car like that. But my terrain can be dangerous that I tread on. Fish says that's what he has. 2-inch lift with 20s. Perfect. Yeah, I like that setup. Do you have that mid-rise E-Z-GO lift? Is that how you got a 2-inch lift? I mean, how did you get a 2? That's the only 2-inch one that I know of, is that mid-rise E-Z-GO lift. We have about 10 guys that all cruise together, and I don't know that a single one of them has anything less than a 6-inch on 23s. Well, if I was, you know, just cruising the neighborhood drinking beer, then that's probably what I'd probably have something like that too. Ton of underglow and loud stereos. Club car precedent. Okay, Fish says it's a 2-inch lift for club car precedent. Who? What company? What company lift? Because I like that idea, 2-inch on 20s. 20s. If you could put, yeah, let me know whenever you find out. You can let me know next episode or sometime. I'd just be interested in that because the fact that you could put 20s on it, it opens up lots of different tire and wheel combinations that would fit without rubbing. So that's why I would be interested in that. But 2-inch lift, 20s on 8s. That's what that. No, mine's 20 on 10s. But you could get 20s on 8s and make a nice work cart out of that. Because you got a lot of room to play with air pressure there. That would be kind of neat, I think. All right, we did the hats, did social media, other social media links. I'll run them one more time. There's the other links to other social media you can follow us on. Please like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook if you haven't already. There's the hat graphic. We did that. We haven't done the coupon. That's right. Go to golfcartgarage.com and at checkout you can use this coupon if you would like to receive 5% off any parts that you order. Use the coupon code TIM17, TIM17. That one expires in a couple of days, January 20th. That expires on January 20th, 2024. But I'll get another one at that time, but I'll get an updated one for the next episode, in fact, because it'll be expired by the time we go on the air again. TIM17. Remember that coupon code. Big Mike says they're all work carts if you're brave enough. Larry, thank you, Larry. Don't forget the thumbs up. That is going to be it for today. I am off tomorrow. As you know, I'm off on Fridays. So that's cool. I will see everybody on Tuesday, and we are giving away a bag of swag, which would include a hat. There will be a free hat giveaway on Tuesday. So everybody remember that, and come back and see me on Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time. And the garage is now closed.